Hey guys, it's R13 here, and it's just a simple tutorial today. It's Cinema 4D, bit Photoshop, maybe a bit of Magic Bullet looks if we want to do some colour correction. But I'm really sorry about there being no uploads. I've been focusing on my schoolwork quite a lot. I'm doing my A2, which is the last year of my A-levels, so I need to get quite a lot of my work done to get grades really, and so I haven't really had the time to upload and make tutorials. But this tutorial was requested by some other people, well, not other people, someone from another video that I've uploaded saying, would you like this tutorial? And they said, yeah, it's just a quite a cool tutorial. If I show you this is what we're going to be making. Is this fluffy ball. It's so simple, honestly. You'll be like, wow, that's simple when you see how I did it. But basically it just looks really cool as a background, and you can render it in like 4K resolution. This took like, I don't know, a minute to render with global illumination and ambient occlusion and all that good stuff. So let's get straight into it. And the first thing I did was created a sphere. There we go, and let's say 150 for our radius. Let's give it some segments. Let's say like 70 segments. Looks good for me. Then we went to where is it? Yeah. But what we did was we wanted to add some hair to this. We can go to simulate hair objects and add hair, and we've got this hair, and you can see it's gone straight onto our sphere now. And we can like bump up the count. Let's say like 12,000. That'd be quite a lot. Do a quick render. See, that's still quite. It's not. There's still not a lot of hair on there. So let's. Whoops! It didn't actually go in. 1,000. There we go. It's not going in. Oh, that's because of the guides. We want to count the hairs, not the guides. There we go. 12,000 hairs. You can see now we're getting a few more hairs. Let's crank this up to like 30,000. Let's see how that looks. You can see we've got a lot more hairs here now. I'm going to keep it down at about 20,000, I think. And that looks good for me. And then we're going to edit our hair material. I think we could add some kink. Maybe we could add some bend and a twist, maybe. That would be pretty cool. We can see we've got this quite cool hair here. And then our colour, I'm just going to pick some colours. I'll have like a darker blue going through to a lighter kind of blue. That'll do. There we go, got some like bluey hair now. You can leave all of the specular stuff really. You can have a quick look. See, that's quite a cool effect. You can see we're almost getting that effect already. And you can, like, if you wanted to, you can add like just a material to the sphere so it doesn't look too boring. If you know what I mean. Like if we render it now, we've got like a white material. That looks pretty cool. I'm just going to leave it as the white material. I think that looks quite cool so far. But let's add some lights in. I'm going to use Grayscale Gorilla's light kit. I'm going to be using, let's say, a softbox. We always need a softbox. And let's put in, I think that would be fine actually. Just leave that. And we can see we've basically already got this effect, but that's quite a cool effect you can see there. We can crank down the hairs if we don't need that many. We can turn up we can maybe move it around just a little bit so we can see the front a little bit more. Have a quick look. There we go, that's almost the effect already, but what I did was I also added a HDR sky in, if you've got this light kit. If not, you can just use area lights and just put one over here. And then I went into his HDRI Light Kit Pro, where is it? There it is. And I think I used, we can use any really. I'm looking for, let's look for octagon stripes. Have a look if there's any for that. There should be some, but it hasn't come up. Let's have a look in the tents. I like the octagon stripes one, that's why I want to use it. Oh, here we go, octagon and stripes small, that's the one I want. You can just drag that straight into your HDRI sky. There we go, and then we've got like a bit more lighting, a bit more powerful lighting there. See, we've basically got that effect already. That's how simple it actually is. And what we can do is we can do our render settings. I'm going to make this 1080, so 1920 by 1080. We can put this as a Photoshop PSD and put the depth to 16-bit channel. We can put the anti-aliasing to best, let's say 2x2 and 4x4, just to make it look really good. We can leave all of this. We can uncheck blurriness, we don't need that. And we can add ambient occlusion, we can add global illumination. I'm just going to take the record density down. If you go on this is what you'll get first, go on irradiance cache. You want to take the record density, just hit the drop down arrow and go to -4. And that'll just speed up our global illumination pass. And we can put on QMC as well, IR plus QMC. And that'll all look really good there. And we can just choose an output path in our save module. Let's find a place. Graph. Here we go. Hairy ball. Hairy ball. Save that. I'm going to save this as well. Graphic. I like to be organised. So that's hairy ball. This sounds really wrong calling it a hairy ball, I know, but oh well. We can move our camera up just a little bit to get our composition a bit better. If we just made this invisible, you can see where the edge of the hairs are. You want that around the same distance from the top and the bottom to get a really nice composition. Then basically it is just hit render. We can watch this fly through now. It won't take long at all, just renders the hair. There goes our global illumination, and there it goes. We'll just leave this to go through. Shouldn't take too long. You can just skip through this video. I'm not going to bother pausing the whole video just because this won't take long at all. It's like 30 seconds and it's almost done, so you won't need like a powerful machine to do this at all. But what we're going to do now is, there we go, it's basically done now. Look, it was just the shadows, the ambient occlusion, etc., which took a bit longer. I'm not too keen on this render. I think the softbox is a bit bright and it could be moved a bit more around because I like the fall off to be further around this one side. So I'm going to go back into this. Let's maybe turn our softbox down a little bit, and let's just make this say -40 and 40. That'll look good for me. And render it again. Yes, I want to overwrite it. It's all up to your personal preference, guys. You can put whatever you want, have it however you like, but I like it so the fall off makes it so it looks like it's really bright on one side and then it fades out to darker on the other side. I like that effect it gives. And as you can see, I've got a lot more squares than I did last time. Before I had 4. And if you need a tutorial on that, I can show you how to get more squares as well on your computer. But it will slow down your machine as well. So that one looks a much better render. As you can see, the fall off around here is much stronger. But we can change all of this white colour. We can put that to black or whatever colour we wanted. So they take about 40 seconds to render, so it's not exactly bad. And I'm just going to add a gradient. And let's go into our gradient settings and put a circular. And I'm just going to get a really a dark blue, almost black, like that for the centre, and then an even darker blue, like that. So you can see we've got like a nice gradient on there now, and we're going to render that, and I don't care what it looks like because we need to get on with the tutorial really. But I'll pause this because I know you hate waiting, so if I pause it and wait for you to be done, and then I'll be back in a second, okay? There we go, guys, and yeah, it's resumed. It's just checking. It took 30 seconds to render that, but I didn't want to be sat there in silence, so I'm going to go back into our view, Command S or Control S, save it. We're going to quit Cinema 4D, We're going to find out where we saved it, so let's go back to graphic. Here we go. Hairy Ball, the nicest file name ever, and there we go, that's what I've got. Maybe could have made it a bit brighter, but let's head on over into Photoshop and we can get this edited and maybe use a bit of Magic Bullet looks to get some nice colour correction and stuff. Just wait for Photoshop to open. Got quite a few brushes, I think, that take quite a while. Here we go, and just open this up. Here we go, it starts to load all my fonts, which takes ages. Now if you hit F on your keyboard, you can see it will, if we go into this here, hit F, you can see we've got like different views we can have. I'm going to press F once so we have this nice grey background and there's not like this. I don't like this being out here because when you click it, it goes off Photoshop, so I'm going to leave it like this. And we can add some, click this button just down here next to the folder. We can add like some curves, we can change the complete colour, we can push up the reds to make it red, push them down. We can do what we want really. Get some nice contrasts. You can build what you want really. I can make it a purple. I'm just going to leave it and delete that and start again because I liked the colour it was before. So if I add a new curves, we can add the contrast curve and the RGB channel, which is make this one very dark and this one very light. But obviously you don't want it too dark. You could even push it up a bit so you can see more of the hair, which looks pretty cool, and then push that fall off down so it's like a complete opposite to contrast curve. But you don't want it to be too strong. Maybe push that up to the top. Still get that nice contrast, that looks pretty cool. We can also add levels. We can just change a couple of the levels, make it a bit easier to look. We can have like, obviously you wouldn't have it like that, but you could have quite a cool look to it there, like that. It's only very subtle there. And whoops. And then you can add a new layer, Command Shift N or Control Shift N. And we could, if you were really fussy about the fall off, you could add a paintbrush, black, make it bigger by pressing the bracket button, the square shaped bracket. You could add some more black just around here, look. Get that fall off, just to make sure it's unfeathered. Hardness is on 0, you can just like paint around there a little bit. Get that fall off much stronger. Like, obviously I think I've done that a bit too strong. You can just oops, make another new layer. Just go paint that just around there, just to get off those tips that you don't want to see. And we can just make this a bit darker. By just moving this white arrow down. And there we go. We can go File, Save, but you need to go. You can save it first. Then you need to actually save it as a JPEG to use with Magic Bullet looks. So here we go. Let's save it as JPEG, which is just down here. JPEG. Click Save. Let's just progressive. 3 scans will be fine. 12 for the quality. That's good. You can quit Photoshop now. And then we can go into Magic Bullet looks here. Oops. That was a photo. So we can go File and Open Image. And you want to find where you saved it. So mine was Graphic Hairy Ball. And there it is, JPEG. Open that up. And we can just do some like cool colour corrections. We could have like warm spot. That looks pretty cool. I like that one. We could do that. We could add if we go into the edge softness, we can make it so just that bit's in focus, which would look pretty cool. Obviously, I'm going to leave it like that. That gives it a bit of depth if you leave it there, because these ones at the very tip start to get blurred, which is cool. And if you had a swing tilt as well, we can crank our Y1 down and the Y2 up, then that'll be right in the middle, but we'll have this like blurred effect, which you can see when I go into, oops, this one. When you see in here, you can see if I zoomed in, you can see here, you can see it's like a nice blurred effect, like this bit's in focus, that bit's all blurred, which is quite a nice effect, and that looks pretty cool so far. You can always add like vignettes and stuff, not that you'd really notice it that much, but like, yeah, probably best just to leave a vignette, you don't really need it. And there we go, that's basically it. You can always change your lighting styles and try out different things. You can just go File, Save Image, and then like, hairy ball, and then just save. And then if I show you now, the final, quit. And I should have had a few folders open for this, but oh well. There we go, hairy ball out, and there we go. We could always add a bit more of a light around here, maybe make that gradient on our sphere a bit stronger, but that looks pretty cool. It's all up to you. You can change all the settings you want. You don't have to follow mine at all, but that's basically how I did it. And then I added some text at the bottom saying 4K because I rendered it in 4K resolution. But yeah, thank you for watching that, guys, and I hope this helped. Please comment and tell me what tutorials you want next, and I'll do my best to do those. And I'm sorry about there being no uploads, but I'll get as many up as I can as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and peace.